Right to Alice because I'm pretty excited about what I'm talking about today. First thing first, I want to update my chain, and I weighed in at 245.8, which was a loss of 0.8. I'm going to go ahead and update my chain. I did get down to the 245, so that means I do still get to remove one link, chain number 246. So I'm going to remove this bad boy, and I hope to never see it again. So. There we go. And it says, "You are a superstar." And that is probably just what I needed to motivate me, knowing that I'm a superstar and I can do it. So, this week for Bath Off Alice, we decided we were going to do book reports on some kind of a weight loss, diet, health kind of book. And I have a particular book that I actually really like, and it's this book, Naturally Thin by Bethenny Frankel. She's got 10 rules on how to live to become naturally thin. And rule 1 is to treat your diet like a bank account. And this is something that I haven't really incorporated. What she says is you can basically eat what you want, but what you want to do is you want to kind of stagger how you eat. So for example, first meal of the day, eat protein. The next meal you can eat a carb meal. Then the next meal should be a protein meal. And I think that's an interesting point. I mean, it's kind of, I've heard a lot of times, you know, balancing what you're eating, like with zone diet and things like that, is really smart. So it's something I should do, but unfortunately I am a carb maniac, and I like to have oatmeal for breakfast, I like to have a sandwich for lunch, and I like to have bread with my dinner. So it's tricky, and that's something that I have to work on. She also talks about a differential. You need to figure out what's important to you. For example, if you love milk, but instead of whole milk, you're okay taking skim milk, that's a differential. Skim milk would be better for you, so you're able to save yourself the calories from the whole milk. Or, for example, bread. Instead of white bread, you would use whole wheat bread. The differential there is the white bread. Sure, maybe you like that a little better, but the wheat bread is just as healthy and you like it just as well, and it satisfies you. So I try to actually incorporate the differential a lot in my life, and that's something that I really found to be good. Another thing that I loved, and I've actually talked about in one of my previous videos, was the point of diminishing returns. And she talks about how when you begin eating something, it's just delicious. So like, for example, a piece of chocolate cake. You take that first bite, it's heaven to you. Second bite, it's awesome. Third bite, it's great. And then from there, you just kind of mindlessly eat the rest. So what she says is try to find that point where you're eating something and it no longer is mind-blowingly delicious. You stop at that point. You've had enough to satisfy you, but you're not going to overindulge. I always try to think about the point of diminishing returns, and it has helped me save so many calories. Rule 2 in the book is you can have it all, just not all at once. And I thought that was awesome. I mean, it's true. In life, I think you can have everything. You just have to be cautious. You have to think, okay, I'm going to eat this cake. Do I need the ice cream? Or I'm going to eat this cake and ice cream. Do I really need the chips and dip and the other little munchies at the party? No. Have what you want the most, not everything. And something that she says that was really funny was, you know, what are we? 5-year-olds who just go in and scarf everything? No, we're adults. We don't need to scarf everything. So I always try to keep in mind that as well, but that's a little harder. I'm still kind of a 5-year-old. Rule number 3 is taste everything, eat nothing. What she meant by that is if you're somewhere and you want to eat everything, you know, go back to rule 2, you can eat everything, just not all at once. Maybe you do want everything, so instead of eating large portions of everything you want, eat taste, bite. Have a little bit of everything, and that would equal up to the same amount if you would have eaten one regular-sized meal. Also, she talks about spoiling your appetite. If you're ravenous and you know you're going out to dinner, it's better to eat a little something and spoil your appetite rather than be ravenous and hungry and go to a party or something and just pig out and ruin your whole day. Also, she talks about switching lanes, and this is kind of an interesting thing. She's talking about, it's kind of like the point of diminishing returns, but different. It's if you're eating something and you just don't want to stop, sometimes if you'll switch lanes and eat something completely different, the shock to your taste buds helps you to stop eating the first thing that was going to ruin you. Rule number 4 is pay attention. I find that when I overeat the most, it's usually when I'm watching TV or, reading a book or reading a magazine while I'm eating, and I just start to mindlessly munch. She says to pay attention. When you're eating, that's what you're doing. You're eating. You're not watching TV. You're not playing around. You're eating. So I try to pay more attention, and I find that it's really better because that way I can pay attention to how my stomach feels, and if I still feel hungry, if I don't, if I'm full but still have food on my plate, it's okay. So I pay attention more now. Rule number 5 is downsize now. And this also means, downsizing your food, so eating smaller portions, but also something that she points out is downsizing the dishes you use. Instead of using the really big dinner plates, use the smaller salad plates to eat on. That way you don't need to feel like you need to eat this whole giant plate full. And I've actually switched over to using my salad plates, and I think it helps a ton. It's a really good technique. Number 6 is cancel your membership in the Clean Plate Club. Basically, if you want to eat it all, do, but leave 2 bites or more. And also she says if you want to eat it all, sometimes it's best to try to either share it, save it, or leave it. That's kind of her way. So if you share it, then you're not wasting the food and other people are able to enjoy it. It makes the outing actually even more fun. Save it, eat it later at another sitting, or leave it and be done with it. It's not a bad thing to leave food. Rule number 7 is check yourself before you wreck yourself. And the author of this book, Bethenny, was a binger, and she considers binging wrecking yourself. So basically what she goes into, and she talks a lot about binging in here, so I think that's good if you're a binger, maybe look into it. But if you know you're going to binge, think about that. Think about what you can do to stop the binge. Try to change your directions, do different things. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. Rule number 8 is know thyself. You need to know what's going to trigger you, what's going to cause you to overeat or to eat things that you shouldn't. You should have your hunger, know about that. So for example, if you go and all day and then don't eat, you're starving, you'll go nuts. Maybe it's good to know yourself and have a snack in between breakfast and lunch, or knowing that if you eat a piece of chocolate, it'll put you into something else, or that kind of thing. Also, be prepared. If you know you're going to be out, and if you get hungry when you're out, you always go get fast food, prepare. Take a snack, take a lunch that's healthy. If you know you overeat at work, take something good to eat and don't have snacks around yourself. Rule number 9 is get real. She really suggests that we eat more real foods, organic, seasonal, local foods. That's something that I kind of I don't follow very carefully. Organic foods are good, and I do try to eat as much organic as I can. My milk, eggs, a lot of my fruit is organic, but at the same time I still buy a lot from the grocery store, and my meat is not organic. I hope to move up to organic someday, but organic is expensive, so it's tricky. I do try to shop with the farmer's market in the summer, which I really enjoy, so that's good. And then rule number 10, good for you, I think is what it was. Yeah, good for you. That's exactly what it was. What she says is you need to do things that are good for you. You can't just live a healthy life and not get sleep. That won't be good. You can't live a healthy life and not exercise. What she says is you need to exercise, and she doesn't really go into like an exercise plan. Just do the exercise that you want to do. Make sure you're getting plenty of sleep. 8 hours is probably what is recommended. I don't remember exactly how much she said, but I've heard that everywhere. And also participate. She talks about how when you're on a diet, you tend to fall off the earth. You feel like if you go out to dinner, you're going to binge and eat bad things, so you don't go out to dinner. You don't go out with your friends. You don't go to parties. She says go, but just follow her rules. The point of diminishing returns. Remember to share. If you want to get something wonderful, share it. Have a few bites, but let everyone else finish it off. So I really recommend this book. I really liked it. Hopefully you get a little something out of this video that can help you as well. So I hope you guys are doing great. Next week, the plan is to talk about Thanksgiving. It will be the day before Thanksgiving when we're going to post our videos. I may wait until after Thanksgiving to post my video so I can kind of show you guys what my Thanksgiving was like, but we'll see. So I hope you guys are having a great week, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye!